Welcome back to TalkNorth.com. Thank you for listening. If you can, please download before you listen. It helps our business. I'd also like to thank our producer, Brandon Morton, and let you know if you'd like to sponsor this program or any of the programs on the network, you can reach me at jsouhan47@gmail.com. Welcome to a remote edition of the Cheryl Reeve Show. Cheryl is in Westchester, New York, having recently flown there from Columbia, South Carolina. We're going to catch up on her travels, the WNBA finals, and a few other things as we go forward here. This is our basketball, society, and other good stuff show on TalkNorth.com podcast network. We cover pretty much all the sports. We have a business show. We'll be adding former Vikings president Jeff Diamond to the lineup here shortly, doing a football show with him, and also Kevin Gorg, the FSN host, is going to be doing a show that's going to touch on all kinds of things, including sports betting, college hockey, prep hockey, all those kinds of things. Kevin's a former high school, I think, girls hockey coach as well. So the network keeps expanding. We'd love to work with you. If you want to sponsor this program, email me at jsouhan47@gmail.com. Thanks to Lori Ramsey and successfulmarketinggroup.com for sponsoring this program. We'd like to add to the roster as we move forward here. So tell me first, Cheryl, about your travels.
Well, pretty simple so far. We left Minneapolis to get down to Columbia. Oh, I believe it was Sunday. All starts to run together. I have no idea what day it is, and we've only just begun. But we spent a few days down there, just getting back together, getting ready to embark on our a couple weeks of training before we hit the World Cup over in Tenerife, Spain, which is one of the Canary Islands. So we, as far as the group that's here, we're still pretty, pared down in terms of, the WNBA playoffs still going on. So we have a number of players that are part of the pool, the USAB national team pool, that are obviously still competing. So the end of the semifinals will bring us a few players. With Phoenix losing, we'll get Taurasi and Griner here soon, and a couple of the Atlanta players are in the pool. So we're hoping to get closer and closer to the team that will be competing over for the World Cup. But the first few days, saw a couple mainstays. It's kind of crazy to think that Nneka Ogwumike is in camp, but she's never been an Olympian. So she's yet to make the team. So this is her first go around. She'll be on the team, and this is a player that's really emerged and had the MVP season, and probably should have been a part of the the final 12, but the timing of it just ended up not being, I guess, right for her at that time. So she's here, and we actually have a number of college players that were invited to the first few days of training, and so that was really interesting, just to kind of get those young ones. USA Basketball is really big on getting the young players in the system and start getting them experience, and so practiced a couple days, Dawn getting in, what she wants to get in. And then we were able to play a red-white inter-squad scrimmage. Last night we were on NBA TV. All the listeners should know that they can catch each of these games, exhibition games, on NBA TV. We play again on Saturday, and then also again on Monday, where we're going to play Canada and Japan. So this will be all these games are good. We get closer and closer to the final product.
Well, and the WNBA finals have been spectacular. One more question two questions about your current coaching experience. Number one, will there be any Lynx players on Team USA this time around?
It's kind of crazy. It feels a lot different. And I've messaged with Simone and Sil. They've each unfortunately experienced some stuff in the postseason. After our season ended, and we finished with exit physicals, and they each had something that prevented them from being able to participate. So for my first time being involved with USA Basketball, no Lynx players. So we, it was unfortunate, and I know that they're going to be missed, and we certainly have felt that void, without Sil and without Simone. I mean, these are players that have been a part of this for a long, long time. So, it's unfortunate, but sometimes that happens.
And is Maya just taking a break?
Yeah, Maya's, kind of in that place where she just felt like, that was it would be best for her to, to not participate, and another big void. I mean, they're talking about, some really good players, and you're without Angel McCautry, and just a tough go of it right now for USA Basketball. But the greatest thing about our country is we're depth and talent. It's our depth and talent, and it's going to show itself, and we might have some inexperience, but there'll be enough. You've got Diana, you've got Sue, Brianna Stewart, Brittany Griner. We're still pretty darn good. Well, hopefully Elena Del Don can come out of this thing healthy and be a part of it. She'll be very important to us, and I think that probably the biggest thing for us right now is guard play. With Diana and Sue, it's been well documented. They've taken such great care of themselves. To be able to continue to be, two of the best players in the league, two of the best players in the world. But what's behind them is really where, we're focusing on trying to identify, some of these young players to, kind of, be the heir apparents. That's not easy shoes to fill. Lindsay Whalen's absence, that was something that she did great. She was a terrific second team point guard for the national team. I mean, just terrific. And so that was a luxury that we had, that we're right now. There's some good guards for sure. We just got to identify the right mixture of backup players to the first five that we have.
In Rio, it was fascinating because you were an assistant to Gino, and we're used to seeing you running everything. And Gino's a type A, and you kind of deferred to him because that was your role. And then I watched the men's team, and Coach K is a type A, and you would think that Tibbs would defer to him, and I think he did in some ways. But it was Tibbs's voice you heard in the gym every time you watched a game. Tibbs just yells every minute his team's playing defense, And so I'm wondering, is it difficult when once you have gotten used to the mantle of being the head coach, and in your case also the general manager, is it difficult to defer?
It's not. I think, I'm big on understanding what your role is, and I just see, not to say that Tibbs's, way is, it's accepted, obviously. Maybe that's what they've asked for from him. I know, for me, I've taken on an approach of, whether it was Gino or now Dawn, what's needed of me. If you need my voice, I have it. I'm not afraid to use my voice. I do talk quite a bit, but I also think it's really important, that Dawn's voice is the strongest voice, and I'm there to support her and to support USAB in any way possible, to win the gold medal. And so that's what I focus on. You try to, I always say this, I spent a number of years being an assistant coach, and then you become a head coach. And then after I spent 5 years as a college head coach, and then I went back to being an assistant, I was a far better assistant coach after having been a head coach, because you understand far more of what they're going through and what they need at what time. And so I actually, I enjoy this. There's a hell of a lot less pressure. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
The things that I focus on as an assistant to Dawn are very, very different than what Dawn's focused on. It is a nice change, from being on all the time for your team, your WNBA team. And, I certainly, will work just as hard, but the pressure is very, very different. And, whatever's needed. I think there's times when, Dawn is okay. Hey, step up to the plate and, tell them what you want to tell them. So Dawn's really good that way. She wants everyone involved. And so I just want to do whatever's needed. And, if what's needed for me to sit back and be quiet, I can do that too. Not as easy, Jim, but I could do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, we all have to extend ourselves a bit sometimes, right?
That's right.
Let's talk about the WNBA finals. I do want to thank my producer, Brandon Morton. I also want to thank Glory Ramsey, who runs Successful Marketing Group, our primary sponsor. Successful Marketing Group is passionately committed to businesses, helping them get found, get customers, and build dreams. You just want to provide the best service you can. And, marketing is vital to build your business, but it's also overwhelming and confusing. People at Successful Marketing Group understand your problems and truly want to help you be successful, providing digital marketing packages with proven results. So go to successfulmarketinggroup.com/Cheryl Reeve for a free 45-minute audit and action plan. That's successfulmarketinggroup.com/Cheryl Reeve. And we appreciate Glory working with the network and being a loyal sponsor. Again, if you would like to join our ranks of sponsors on this show or across the network, you can reach me at jsouhan47@gmail.com. So I'll just throw it to you. What has stood out to you about the WNBA playoffs and the semifinals?
Well, obviously we've been in it for however many years as far as the semifinals and finals, but I it's a different vantage point for sure. I don't have the perspective of how great when we were in it, of how great it was in terms of our play, the high level of play. And so a different vantage point now is for me to be sitting, in the bar with my counterparts, down here at USAB, and we're watching. And so the high level of play, highly competitive, just putting it all out there, just the, hanging on every possession. It just has been riveting. And so a completely different vantage point. I much prefer the other vantage point I had, which was during the moment, one possession at a time. But it is, just watching it and, just the, it probably started for our league a couple of years ago with us and LA, just elevating this thing and, putting on great finals. Now you're seeing great semifinals, two game fives, games well played. Officiating hasn't screwed anything up yet. So a lot of positives, and a lot of people watching, commenting, and so just a tremendous exclamation point to what we knew was a really strong regular season. And so I've enjoyed the heck out of watching it. Like I said, it's kind of strange, but, being fans, of these players now, watching a Diana Taurasi doing what she does or yelling at my TV about something that, one of the players is doing. It's just fun. It's just been really, really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I think it's been great. It's been, incredible combination of high skill, but also people diving on the floor, like Breanna Stewart, she's the league MVP. She's a brilliant shooter and offensive player. She's also been diving all over the place. I also saw a cool video of Diana Taurasi, and we all know how combative she can be on the court, and also very witty off the court. Somebody was telling me the other day that she was doing a press conference with Gino at some point. I don't know if it was in Rio or someplace else, and someone asked Gino what life was like after Taurasi, and he said, "Oh, a lot quieter." And then somebody asked Taurasi, what was the key to success at UConn? She said, "Oh, great assistant coaching." So she and Gino like to get into each other's kitchens. But I saw a great video of her getting off the team bus after losing Game 5 in Seattle, coming home, and she went up and hugged every single member of her team's organization. Just standing around. It really was endearing.
Yeah. It's another side, the other side of Diana. My assistant coach, Shelley Patterson, actually coached Diana, and she always would share, these other sides of Taurasi. She's viewed as a tremendous teammate. She's hard on people. She'll drive you, but that's what makes your organization great. You're trying to uphold, such a generational standard. This is a player that doesn't come along very often, the competitive fire and the passion with which that she does things, but she's also a great relationship person. And, I think seeing that, that's not unique to our league. I will say that, but it's what makes our league special is that I think we have players like Diana that recognize the work that goes into this thing behind the scenes. I think the Phoenix Mercury is a really fine organization with a strong commitment, strong fan base. And so I think players like Diana through the years has learned really just the value of those people behind the scenes. And, you can't do it alone. And so I think in that moment, she was expressing that appreciation and really for, the